Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news. Is there any reality TV, which I did not watch last night? And today's Jeff Lewis Live, which of course I listened to. Do y'all know? So tell me in comments if this was always available for you. Oh, thank you. Christina says it's real easy to hit the thumbs up while you eat for Sarah. While you eat, is everybody eating lunch? Maybe they are. Hey, K Kitty and Topper, welcome, welcome, welcome. So about a week ago, I was listening to Jeff Lewis and I saw, because sometimes it's delayed, but I just pause it, meaning. And until hours later, when they would put up the actual replay, is not until my app showed the 15-second fast forward and the 15-second replay. It used to be there year or two ago, and then it just disappeared. Anyways, mine is back and I'm loving it. But I sort of have to wonder, like I have a hair on my lip. I sort of have to wonder why SiriusXM is allowing that. Like, isn't everybody just fast forwarding through the commercials? Like, I know we already pay the subscription, but I'm just fast forwarding. You know what I mean? It's so weird. Not opposed to it though, because I almost always, obviously I listen live, but sometimes the app would mess up. Well, now I don't feel like it can mess up, because even if it pushes me out, which it has not pushed me out lately, or gone to the live show, whatever's on Radio Andy at the time, I would have the 15-second rewind. I wouldn't have to do the big fast forward, which could be like 20 minutes or so, right? So am I the only one that is noticing that now? Because some people are in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group saying that they've always had that. But I think they're talking about that they must listen to the replay. Well, then it's available. But if you're listening live at 9 a.m. California time, that 15-second fast forward and replay or rewind was not there, right? The autocorrect sucks. Yes. Thank you, Southern Bells Fells, for being number 14, and Ann for being number 8. Hey, Christina, Nurse M, The Way I See It, Samantha, K Kitty, Christina, Topper, all of y'all. Are you new, Samantha? Or are you just new to comment? I don't recognize your name. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are brand new, we love newbies. We love hearing what you have to say. I love your questions and comments. We try to leave them towards the end, but as you know, I am always trying to scan the comments. So I'm trying to read the comments and questions as we go along. If you want to come on with me, though, it is not up right this second. I'm waiting on the stream, the little banner. See that little StreamYard.com right there? Just copy and paste that into a browser, and then you can click on that and easily come up and ask a question or comment. So feel free to do that. It is 77 degrees and sunny right now. I am loving it. I went to Costco this afternoon, just picked up my Walmart groceries. I love this weather so much. The only thing better is if I had time to lay out by my pool and get in a little bit of vitamin D. But other than that, it is a great day. I did do body combat last night, which kicks my tail every single time. I swear to you, so they just added this Monday night body combat class. And so there's only it's getting busier and busier every week. I think word's getting out. But usually there's only like 7 to 8 of us in there. So we have a lot of space because, we're going backwards and forwards and left and right. It's a group fitness class, but it is all like kicking and punching, almost like Muay Thai or whatever it's called, but not that intense, but it's pretty intense. A lot of cardio, and there's not a whole lot of stopping. So body pump that I'll do tonight has a lot of stopping. So there's a lot of pausing, a lot of catch my breath. I will stretch in between. So it's really nice, but that body combat is kicking my tail. But I just figured I wanted to support my friend who just, got the class added, because she was like, y'all come on Mondays. Because when you go to a group fitness class and you check in, that lets the gym know, hey, this class is popular, this instructor is wanted, and then they won't, hopefully cancel your classes so much. Thank you, Samantha. Oh, you're in Cleveland, Ohio. Ooh, but hopefully you're getting spring weather. It must be nice. It's 52 and sun. Hey, but at least it's sunny. And at least you're outside, right? So think of all the positives. I've never been to Cleveland, Ohio before. Never been there. Hey, Cecile, thank you for hitting the thumbs up button. I appreciate it. Hey, Claire. Oh, it's 70. Oh, Ann says it's 72 in Tennessee last night. Now it's 34. Geez Louise, it should have been 34 last night and 72 during the day, right? Oh my gosh. You make couscous? Oh, I want to know how to make couscous. Is couscous that tiny, tiny, tiny rice, right? Or a rice similar, rice adjacent? I don't know. I don't know what goes in that. I need some new recipes, y'all. I need some easy recipes. Anyways, okay. Well, I did not watch any TV last night or nothing that I took notes on anyway. I've still not watched this week's 90 Day Fiance. I will get to that eventually. But as y'all know, I've got one of my daughters home for college. So we went and picked up her friend because she's got some friends coming tonight to stay overnight, and they are going to hit the Houston Rodeo, and then they're going to hit Galveston tomorrow. So they've got some fun going on. So I was hanging out with her and everything. Yeah, the time change, it doesn't affect me. And you know what? I think it's just a mind thing for me. I just never let it affect me. I don't even think I realized till my 30s when these studies would come out that there's a lot of people that go through a serious either energy or depression or lack of performance at work for the time changes. I never realized that. I never thought about it. Southern Belle Cell says, have y'all adjusted to the time change if you have to go through it? Who all doesn't go through it? Is it Arizona that doesn't do the time zone? I'm not even sure. Aren't we? Isn't Congress talking about for years just not doing the time zone change? I don't know. It's so confusing. Yeah, I don't think it affects me. Even when my kids were little, I would still just put them to bed. So we have a neighbor, she's still my neighbor, that went through a divorce when her kids were kind of little. So uh we knew her as married, but we know her longer as a single mom. Okay. I say that to say she's also a physician, works a lot of hours to raise her two precious college age kids now. Anyways, we live in a cul-de-sac. So she would come home a lot later and she would want to go outside and watch her kids ride their bikes and play and all that, which I love. But my kids were already in bed. And so they tell the story now because two of the front bedrooms look out the front of the house and they could hear, the bike and the kids and the playing. And they're like, and we're in bed. I used to put my kids to bed at 7 or 7:30. Sure enough, I was like, y'all are tired. Let's go to sleep. I didn't force a nap. So when my kids were done napping naturally, I just let them be done naturally. That didn't bother me at all because I'm fine with just blowing and going all day and having fun. But, I kept my kids so busy with activities and social and friends and what have you. And I was ready to be just wife and just Sarah at 7:30. So I loved putting my kids to bed early. And now, now I still have one that on her own, she really likes a lot of sleep, but the other four are kind of late owls. So they're a little more normal. Oh, thank you, Lisa. She was over on TikTok tapping the screen. I appreciate it so much. If y'all are on TikTok, please tap the screen. It is free. It just gives some love to the podcast and lets other people that might be interested in the same thing know that we have a live TikTok going on. So does it really? Isn't that interesting that it affects your dogs? Heather says it confuses my sweet dogs for a few days. Is it because of the light, the circadian rhythm, as they call it, right? That's so fascinating. I mean, really, physiologically, if you want to get all smarty pants, I guess, we are intended to go to sleep when the sun goes down, when there was no electricity, no TV, no podcast, no Jeff Lewis Live to listen to at night, and then wake up at the crack of dawn when the sun came up. So I guess that's the way it was intended, right? Anyways, Samantha says, I dislike the fallback that affects me more than the spring forward. So let me think. Spring forward. I wasn't even worried about it. I was hosting a walk Sunday, which I told you only one person ended up showing up. So thank goodness she showed up, or I'd have been by myself. But my husband was like, oh my gosh, I hope all these people don't forget about the time change. And I was like, nobody will be affected by that because everyone uses a cell phone and it just automatically changes over, right? Like, luckily, we don't have to deal with, worrying about booking scheduling something early the next day, like a flight or something, and worry that you're going to miss your flight because of the time change. No, it doesn't affect them at all. Oh, it's the feedings. Okay, Southern Belle Cell says it's their feeding time that bothers them, even my kitties. Wow. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I kinda wish it was one way or the other. Cecile says, "I don't care, just leave it one way or the other." Exactly. Well, I definitely like the later. I like the light being later, definitely. I mean, there's nothing worse. I mean, I know I'm in Houston, so other cities are worse. I think when my husband said he lived in Chicago, it would get dark at, like, 4:30 PM. It never gets dark that early here in Houston area, but I think around 5:30, 6 o'clock, it's dark in the winter, and I love the summers, the longer days, um, love all of that. How does Charlie self-feed, Michael? Charlie has a sweet dog with gorgeous blue eyes, and he says he self-feeds. Like, he goes and chops up his food by himself? I don't even know. Um, oh, Anne says, "I notice my dogs do the same thing about the feeding. They know when it's time to eat." You know, Luna do when we first got her, remember my friend rescued her off the streets, and we were trying to find somebody or an owner. Nobody would take her. The nobody was taking, dogs during COVID. She was gonna be a big dog. They could look at her paws. She had some injuries. Anyways, uh, she used to gobble up her food really fast, and I think it's because 'cause she'd been on the streets either her whole life or part of her life at the 6 to 12 months old whenever, the vet estimated that was her age. But so eventually I bought those little puzzles and the mazes so she wouldn't eat her food so fast, but now she'll just let us sit there all day. We feed her around 6:30 in the morning and around 6:30 at night. Just depends, and, she knows that food's gonna be there. Now we've had her, what, 4.5 years. She doesn't even question if she's gonna get fed, which is a good thing, right? I mean, I hated when she would gobble up that food because she was just so excited to see it, I bet. I don't like to think about a world of where Luna didn't have a loving family like she does now. Um, oh, Southern Belle tells us it gets dark around 4 in Tennessee in the winter. It never does that in South Florida. I know it's something science-y, but I just don't understand it. I think it's well, is Tennessee much further north than Houston? I don't feel like it is. Maybe it is. Definitely know Chicago is more north anyways. Yes. Oh, and there's a no, it's a blood moon. Is that a full moon? Shanda says, as an educator, you can definitely tell with the students that and full moons. Yes, and I've heard. So my girlfriend is she's kind of in management now, but she was an OB nurse, our whole 20 years or so that we've been friends. And she would always say there was going to be a lot of babies born. And she said the full moon really did affect people, something about affecting them. And also, they say police officers say that things get a little dicey when there's a full moon. So it gets a little more active, which is not necessarily a good thing, right? Anyways, okay. Oh my gosh, for real? Christina says, I have a clock that I don't change. I just add or subtract the hour. Is it like really high up? Is it a pain in the butt to change? Like, do you just like knowing that the clock is wrong? Like, I don't know. I guess our oven is original to the house, so it's about from 2003. We have to manually change the clock on that, and our microwave is not automatic, so we have to change those 2 things. Other than that, there's nothing in our house we have to change, or my car, so anyways. Wait, what? Southern Belle Cell says, "Anyone keep up with astrology? Weird stuff is coming in this eclipse." What's the eclipse? Like, when does that start? I don't even know. Tell me, is anything bad gonna happen on my birthday, March 24th? Because that's crazy. Yes, medical stuff too. Kim says the ER gets crazy on full moons too. Yeah, it's awful, right? Because it's not good things. It's all obviously bad things that happen. Um, oh, I love that. It's a grandpa clock. It's a pain. Oh, I love that you have one though. Like a cuckoo clock, maybe? Oh, I love that sorta. Anyway, yeah, what's coming? Somebody let us know. Anyways, okay, let's get started. If you want to chat about anything, we can go off topic. We can stay on topic, whatever. Let's chat today's Jeff Lewis Live. The first hour was Kristen Taekman and Zach Noe Towers was back. I like Zach Noe Towers. I mean, I remember the first day he was on and he talked a little too gross and graphic for sexy time. But, once Jeff kind of talked to him about that, he totally mellowed out. And he is one of those that's very flexible. He's just able to be on with anyone. He can be on with a mom like Kristen. He can be on a gay man. He can be on with a gay man, a gay woman, a comedian, a non-comedian, Judge Lauren Lake. I mean, he can be on with anyone. And I feel like he's almost becoming like a Doug. But at the same token, I feel like Doug's not quite on as much. Like, is Doug even? I think Doug's going to be on later this week with somebody. Can't remember with who. Anyways, but I don't know. I just got used to like Megan and Doug on Mondays. They would talk about the weekends. I just loved it. But I know I got to really. Oh, I never even thought about that. Okay, so you know what? I guess I'm the anomaly. I'm the weird one that's not really affected by the full moon. Heather said retirement homes are really affected by full moons. Wow, like they just get off schedule and they can't, get back or whatever. So, yeah, Mariah Joy says he's versatile. He's verse. Anyways, yes. Lisa, bye. She's going to TikTok. I'll be back. What you just bouncing around today, aren't you, Lisa? Thank you. Lisa, I hope she's on TikTok already. Yep. Okay. I see you're over there on TikTok. Hey, Lisa in Kentucky. I am going to attempt to go to Aldi tomorrow. I cannot be there right at 8 when the meat goes on sale. So I'll just have to see. I didn't think I have room in my freezers right now, to be honest with you. But anyways, one day I'm going to check out Aldi at 8 a.m. I'm not committing to the cacao of it all. If you're an Aldi fan and you know what the cacao is, you'll know that Lisa taught me that. So anyways, Southern Belle says an astrologer said that this eclipse is just like 2016. So try to remember. I don't remember anything about 2016. No idea. I have been to I know a quarter. I will have to remember that. They still have that. That's so weird to me. Like someone's going to steal their cart. Anyways. Okay. So what are your thoughts? Kristen was on. As always, Jeff is going to stir the pot and talk about how she always talks about her son, the 16-year-old. She doesn't talk about that she has a daughter much, but she does. And she's a great mom. I've met Kristen a couple of times. The first time we literally talked about being moms together. It was at the September 30th event that she was the special celebrity, I guess, of sorts with I feel like Emily and Gina came too. I feel like Emily and Gina came later in the evening too. Anyways, but we talked about being moms together. So she's very sweet, very much loves her kids. I think she's just leaning into the whole not talking about her daughter and maybe that her son she loves so much. I don't know. Today was a little much for me. Like, I'm sure her daughter I hope her daughter doesn't hear any of the stuff about on the radio, but she is a 13-year-old girl. That is a very interesting age. And by the way, if she thinks she's got it tough now, I mean, she might not even be in for it all yet, right? The hormones might not even be clicking just yet. Do you know what I mean? My daughters were all different ages, and sometimes the hormones weren't even locked in at that point yet. So she might be in for it even more than she thinks. But she must have said 12 to 15 times, literally, that her daughter Kingsley is a pain in the butt. But she wasn't really given details. I mean, it was just like, okay, she left her lunch at school, at home, and she texted her mom to bring it to her. I mean, her mom's a working mom, but she's got a very flexible schedule in that, if she's available and she's not working, then she is able to bring the food. And I kind of think that's what our job is. I don't think we need to be like saving our kids at all costs and like letting them forget stuff and being at their beck and call, whether or not you're a working outside the home parent or whether you're a stay-at-home parent. But I think if you can, and it's not that often, then you should be okay with bringing your daughter their lunch that they left at home. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was a bit much. I do feel like she's just kind of leaning into the joke though that Jeff kind of started. Wait, what do y'all why do y'all have glasses from 2016? What are y'all talking about? Christina, we are living 2016 part 2 now. What happened in 2016? Y'all are literally blowing my mind. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay. I have no idea. Mike O'Reilly says, I always travel with my big canvas LL Bean bags. I love those bags. Oh, you bring that to Aldi? Okay. I got to take my own bags too. Jeez Louise. I could take my Sarah from Texas Chumpette bag. Yes, Samantha. You know what? I'm glad you're asking that because I did not realize. Okay, for anyone that saved the graphic that Jeff, or I'm sure Annie makes it, where he puts the week's guests up now. Uh, it said today he said Joey McIntyre. Well, honey, I mean, y'all know I have been to a couple of New Kids on the Block concerts. I love me some Joey McIntyre. He is absolutely my favorite blue-eyed little boy. I did not realize he is the one that's on tomorrow, though. I wonder if they changed it out. He is going to be on with Carney Wilson. So maybe they've got something where they're coming up and doing like a 90s thing together or maybe they're going to a 90s con or something that they're promoting. I don't know. He's never been on before. I do feel like the second hour had Kelty Knight on and she knew everything. She knew everything to ask about him. But I'm like, that's kind of her job. I mean, she's an entertainment host. So and she's of that age. So I do expect her to know all the things about Joey McIntyre. So anyways, it was pretty interesting. Oh my gosh. Heather said, my sisters used to tell me to thank God that I only had a son when their girls were 13. I don't know. I think they can still be kind of sweet at 13. Just I guess every kid is different, right? But I do have 4 daughters. I do think it gets a little trickier when they get a little more hormonal. Um, yeah, for sure. Yes, I love that. Cecile says, I took my niece and nephew to New Kids back in the day. I mean, I just went with myself. I didn't even take my kids. I love it, love it, love it. So I don't know. Let me know in comments. Did you think it was a little much that she was saying that about her daughter? I definitely got some DMs that y'all think she was a little too hard on it. I definitely think she will get some hate in her DMs, get some, hate on the Jeff Lewis Live coffee picture. But at the end of the day, I think if anyone has been a mom and they're trying to be a little bit honest, I think she's probably just being honest. And sometimes we just don't want to talk honesty. Lisa's back on YouTube. Hold on. What are you jumping back and forth for, Lisa? You're cracking me up. You're cracking me up. Yes, Heather says I love New Kids. Oh my God. So last year or the year before, they had this mixtape. So I've seen them when I was like 16, and then I've seen them as like in my 40s, early to mid 40s. Maybe I've seen them 3 or 4 times. Definitely seen them more as an adult than I was as a 16-year-old. They still have it. They still dance. They still sing so good. I mean, it was so good, but yet they still talk about being like, they're like in their 40s and 50s, right? So I love it. And Joey is still so cute. Oh, Dana Maria is over on Instagram. She says, my daughter was a breeze, but my oldest son was a bear. He's sweet now. Okay, so there's hope for Kristen Taekman, right? If her daughter stops eventually being a pain in the butt, right? Oh, Christina, how many blockheads are here in the chat? You know the term blockheads. So blockheads is what they call their fans, like Swifties. New Kids on the Block call them blockheads. I signed up to buy our tickets, and I registered and paid this price to get some VIP. Like it was like I think it was a fanny pack. I was like, I am not wearing this. Anyways, it was some crap inside of there, but it was just so we could buy our tickets early. And I thought they were going to sell out. So I paid for that. It was like $79. But then I got all these emails about being a blockhead and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm not that into it. Like, I'm not that serious. Anyways, it was kind of funny. Anyways, okay, they're still talking about who pooped in Jeff's fancy toilet. I do have children. Let's just say, yes. If you are of a certain age, you have seen a clogged toilet. It is no fun at all, right? 0 on the fun scale, 0. But how the housekeepers, who is it? Zoila Aurora Is it Maria there or Lily? Like, which one kind of left/got fired? I can never keep up. I just know Zoila's still there and Aurora. Can't keep up with the third one. Anyways, all three of them deny, like, I would never. But also, I think it goes without saying that you don't use your boss's primary toilet. Like, I think it's weird that Shane had to send a text to the staff and say, "Hey, just a reminder, under no circumstances are you to ever use." Like, I sort of get it. Like, even though Jeff didn't buy this house as a brand new build, I think somebody, you know what though? This might have been a brand new build. You know what? Maybe no one lived in this house before, but I'm just saying. And obviously, when he gets a new house, he changes out all the toilets. But not everyone does that, right? But my point is, I get not wanting somebody else to use your toilet, especially Jeff Lewis, right? He doesn't want somebody else's butt touching his toilet unless it's him or his daughter Monroe. But they all text back immediately. Oh, Jeff knows I would never use his primary toilet. I have never used his primary toilet. Jeff knows I would never do that. And then one of them brings up the idea that they were so heavily scrubbing. Okay, y'all. I only have a housekeeper once a week. Once a week. She does not ever need to heavily scrub our toilets. There is nothing disgusting going on in 1 week's time. Jeff has housekeepers every single day, and I'm sure it's on those checklists that he has them to clean their toilet every day. There is no world that somebody, first of all, he doesn't encourage anyone to poop at his house. You think anybody wants to go in the toilet and shut the room for 7 to 12 minutes, knowing that Jeff Lewis is going to talk about you shitting in his bathroom on the radio? Like, have we watched Flipping Out? Have we heard the radio show? Like, nobody's going to do that. So unless somebody just took, 5 of the share plums 4 hours before they got to the office and then just had an explosion, I don't think that's what's happening. So one of them had the idea that one toilet was so bad and they were in there scrubbing it and cleaning it so much that the poo went to his primary toilet and came up the toilet and like left a little smear. I'm like, wait, what? Like, gross. And, oh, you have your own toilet? Ann says, no one poops in mine but me. Wow. Now I have to share mine with my husband, the hubs. Debbie says, I think all moms probably feel that way about their kids, but to go on a radio show and say my 13-year-old daughter is a pain in the butt, it's just sort of sad. She should tell a friend, not the world. I agree, Debbie. I even said to some people in DMs, you were probably one of them, I know you were, that I said it's different if you're kind of venting to your best friend or your sister-in-law or the neighbor or your cousin, and you kind of, everyone knows that relationship and it's kind of private. To me, it is different. It felt a bit extra mean today for her to lean into it and just keep saying that she's a pain in the butt, and trust me, I've got 5 kids. We've all had our moments. Okay. Jeff Lewis has a huge audience. I mean, Kristen Taekman is already famous from Beverly Hills in her own right. Her parents, everyone on the soccer field, the team, I'm sure they all know who she is. So to hear that is kind of, even if it doesn't bite her in the butt, I think it would hurt her daughter to hear that. It's one thing if she was like a comedian and you knew that she told you, but I mean, let's be clear. Kristen Taekman is anything but a comedian. I mean, she doesn't exactly, you know what I mean? I have no idea. Mariah Joy says, do you like astrology, Sarah? I mean, I don't really know much about it. Have you noticed the differences between your children who have different astrological signs? Or do you have signs that you personally mesh better with than others? I have no idea. I know I used to read, like in college, maybe the daily, I think it was in the newspaper, like the Houston Chronicle. And I would always think, oh, that sounds like me. I'm an Aries. And then I would be like, well, that kind of sounds like a lot of people. So don't get me wrong. I'm a little bit jaded. I'm not the biggest one to like believe in astrology or psychics or mediums and all that. Like I'm a little bit jaded with all that. Like I think it's a little bit generic. And, unless somebody told me, I mean, I got to admit, I mean, I've told y'all, Poll did the coffee reading on me. And he said, "Where are you traveling?" I said, "Nowhere. This is my last flight. I have nothing else booked right now." Ended up having 4 flights in the next 6 weeks. So with that, and he had nothing to do with any of them. He had nothing to do with any of them. There's no way he could have known any of that because I didn't know either. Yeah, Michael Riley says it's a fun read, but it's strange because Spencer, who's his adult son, and are the same sign, so that's kind of weird. I don't even think I'm the same sign. I have a daughter born in March, but I think she's different than me. I'm Aries and I think she's Pisces. But I don't know. Everyone else is I do have a couple that might be the same sign. I don't know. I have 3 within 3 weeks of each other's birthdays, 2 different months, but within 3 weeks of each other. So some of them might be the same sign. None of us are into astrology. We've never really thought about it, to be honest with you. And then another one in January. So we don't really have, I don't know. And then my husband's July and I'm March. So I don't know. Jay Duffy says, I did an Aldi could call once. Why only once? Did anyone could call back to you? That would be fun to kind of find somebody else. It's like I used to joke, I made a video one time that, the petty ass bitch music, I wanted to like walk into a restaurant or a coffee shop one day and just play that music and just see if anyone looks up. And then I'd be like, oh my God, we have so much in common. You know what I mean? So, Anne says the moon ruled everything. When I was younger, I thought it was the sun. You want to know a funny story? I was in my late 20s and I still thought the moon and the sun were the same thing. Just saying. My husband loves to joke about that. I thought the moon that you could see during the day that was white. Don't even get me started. Oh, I'm definitely Aries, Southern Belle Cell says. Okay. Maybe that's why I do feel very similar to some of the things that Jeff, but every time somebody talks to me, like either I meet them in person or a DM, everyone, women, men, married, single, gay, 25, 65, 85, they say, I am just like Jeff Lewis. Like he and I would be best friends. So I think a lot of people clearly relate to Jeff Lewis. The earth is round, Sarah. Isn't the moon? Okay, I don't want to get started because I'll start sounding real dumb. The moon is a mirror of the sun. No, okay, I know the moon is real. Like it's not a mirror of the sun because I know some stuff about science lately and all that NASA stuff because we're in Houston, so I hear about all that stuff. You know what I mean? Cecile says you're a lot nicer and sweeter than Jeff. I mean, I can have my moments though. If you come at me, sometimes I can have my moments for sure. I can definitely hold my own, but it takes a lot. You know what I mean? Like you got to really piss me off. And yeah, you know what I mean? Nick James says it's funny watching your wheels turn, Sarah. They are messing with you. Oh, okay. See, you can't know how someone's anyways. No, I am not calculating. I don't feel like. Michael says, are you saying you're as mean and calculating as Jeff is? No, I'm definitely not a calculating person. And I definitely don't feel like I'm mean. I feel like I am brutally honest though. Like it's really hard for me to say something. Southern Belle says, you know what, who read my astrology one time is that can't remember her name now. Her name is Natalie, but Femme Tarot or something like that. Anyways, she read my thing one time. 1:03 p.m. is when I was born. I was born on a Saturday, March 24th, 1973, 1:03 p.m. So whatever all that means. Anyways, water rising, moon rising, sun rising, all that. You know what I mean? Thank you, Mike O'Reilly. You are very sweet and honest. Thank you. Yes. Mike O'Reilly says, I'm brutally honest. If you don't want the truth, don't come to me. I mean, I think we need a little more honesty in this world though, right? I think I think this generation that's coming up is a little more, you know, oh, everything's fine. That's great. You get 100. That essay is great. I mean, it's like nobody can take, anyways. Yes, thank you. Kay Kitty says Film Tarot Natalie is amazing. Yeah, she seems very nice. Haven't chatted with her in a while, but when I did chat with her, she was so nice and helpful. She really was. She just one of those girls. Me and her and Sarah Fraser kind of were in this little chat for a while. But anyways, but she's does she still live in Greece? Didn't she live in like Greece or somewhere? Somewhere beautiful. So the time zone was always very different with us. Yeah. Christina says, not everyone needs a medal. I know, right? Speaking of metal, not really metal. Have y'all seen this video that is going around? I don't know the history behind it, but clearly there's something awful going on behind it. It's it's a lot of girls doing a relay race on a track. They're 16 years old, so I'm assuming high school. And she's not the girl giving the baton to somebody else. She must be on another team. And a girl comes up behind her and goes in front of her. And the girl whacks her on the head. There's video and everything. And now they're saying the school or the kid, the family has not reached out to make sure the girl was okay. She has a concussion and everything. But not only that, if she was whacked in the, like, how traumatizing to be like, you're in a race. It's what you're training to do is to come up from behind and go up beside someone, and then you whack them on the head. Like, and she of course dropped the baton, went to the side, everything. Yeah, that was crazy. Nick James says, I mean, just what an awful world we live in sometimes. You know what I mean? Yes, it definitely was an attack. Good word, Krista. Good word. Krista says that attack on the track was horrific. Exactly. And and now with cameras on every phone, cameras on every sidewalk, every angle, we're getting video of real crimes and like horrific actions. It's really awful. Oh my God. Oh, Jake from Kansas. I saw you. I heard you call in today about you and your sister on the radio. Good question. Would you go to Jack's horror movie night if invited? I actually think I would, just because because I have met Zach after his, well, I've met him a couple of times, but definitely after his show in Houston, and that I've met him at a couple of Jeff Lewis events. I think he's very easygoing, very whatever. Now, I'm totally not into the horror movie thing, but he loves a dip and chip, and I love a dip and chip. So I would absolutely, um, for sure do that. Oh, thank you, Krista's reminding everybody to hit the like button for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. Was that Kelly Dodd? No, but somebody did send me the video of her. I guess she was on a rampage lately about Tamara Judge being ugly, and then also Heather Dubrow being ugly. And I can't believe she's married to a surgeon. And I'm like, okay, like seriously. And of course, I'm like, even if you are beautiful, even if people think you are beautiful, you're really ugly on the inside sometimes. Ugh. Oh, I love that. Krista said, I could see Sarah and Zach loving each other. Yeah, he's really nice and fun. Nick says they would be talking about me on the radio next day. I get scared easily and horror movies kill me. Oh yeah, I would be watching like this for sure. And there's different horror movies. Like the one that I saw, that was that Valentine's Day one. That was just it was supposed to be like funny, gory, but it was real gory and lots of jump scares. So if it's a jump scare, I'm going to scream. Like I'm going to at least, I'm going to react, like seriously. Yeah, it's awful. Wait, what? Wait, what? Debbie says, how horrible. I haven't seen the video of the track girl. I did see the video of the girl standing on a cliff, getting ready to jump into the water below, and a girl pushed her friend off the cliff before she was ready. Awful. Was she okay? I mean, like putting her off the ship. Jake from Kansas says, he's so sweet. I felt bad that my sister interrupted. Who was the person that called, and was she drunk? Okay, now I have questions. Jake, if you can come on, push the invite button. I would love for you to come on. Jake says, he's so sweet. I felt bad that my sister interrupted his show by taking the phone call. He was a good sport about it, though. I guess other than referring to her as a dumb bitch on the radio, she thought it was hilarious. Oh my God, seriously. I'm just curious, the friend or whoever she was calling that told him that he was an asshole or whatever it was, you know what I mean? Uh, ooh, good question. Mariah Joy says, "Where do you think Kelly Dodd will be in 10 years?" I don't know that she'll be married to Rick Leventhal. I don't. And I don't think it'll be him divorcing her. I think it'll be her divorcing him. But where do I think she'll be? I have no idea. I really don't know that reality TV is gonna be a thing for her. I don't know that she will come back. Like, it's been a while. We know that, like, franchises have come back and things like that, but, like, individuals don't tend to necessarily make the comeback that she kinda needs to happen. I don't know. Um, yeah. Oh, I love that. Nick James says, "I scream like a 16-year-old girl at a New Kids on the Block concert." And that's what we should be doing at a New Kids concert, right? NKOTB all the freaking way. I love it. I had so much fun, sang out loud to every single song there. It was such a good show. Oh my God. I think I've seen Crystal Gale at the rodeo too. Karen says, "I went to the Houston rodeo a long time ago, I think in the 90s, and Crystal Gale performed." So that tells you it was a long time ago. I think I saw her at the rodeo also. Obviously, super long hair. I don't disagree, Krista. I don't disagree. Krista says, "Bravo is on life support. I don't think it will be around in 5 years." It's definitely not the same. Even if you've seen the new uh the trailer that's come out for season 2 of The Valley, they show Jeff. They show Jax Taylor getting his divorce serving or whatever. Well, we've already heard she had already served him divorce papers. They reenacted that when they picked up cameras just to do it. Like, we've already heard that. And I believe the source that I heard that from. So it just continues to get faker and faker. And when they have to like do things, I don't know, it's just kind of gross. It's like if they don't have any other content, they got to pick it up and fake it and be like, "Oh, act like you just answered the door and you just got served." We're not even getting his real reaction from being served divorce papers from Brittany. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, Michael Riley says, "I think Watch What Happens Live is going to go away." I mean, I like it, but I used to watch every single night and it truly was live. Now I only watch if there's somebody really good, and I often run out of time just because, you know what I mean, there's not a time. Oh, I'm a couple of things? What does that mean? Southern Bell Cell says, "Sarah, you are Aries, Sagittarius, Pisces. I knew you had Pisces in you." I don't even know what that means. And I just know I'm Aries based on March 24th. I guess the other stuff is based on what time I was born and the day where the moon was that day. See, I did learn a lot from Natalie on film tarot. Christina says the one Kelly Dodd thing that is good is when she was doing that owl sound at Shannon's 70s party. I don't even remember that. I remember Shannon's 70s party. Isn't that when she dressed up? No, 70s. No, that was the rocker party when she dressed as Bret Michaels. A really good Shannon was a really good Bret Michaels. Which was the 70s party? I don't know. Did they have afros on? I feel like they all of them dress up, you know. I'm a moon child, Lisa says. Okay, I'm a moon child. I don't even know what that means. Because she has nothing else. Katrina says, "I wonder why Kelly Dodd always goes for the looks to hurt people." She's very pretty, but I feel like maybe Kelly wasn't seen as pretty until like her later years. And so maybe she was hurt as a teenager. Like, I don't know. I don't know why she always goes for maybe that's all she feels like she's ever had is her looks. I have no idea. But yeah, you're right. Come at somebody for their personality or their mistakes or their, things that they say or do. But it's always about the looks for people for sure. I know. How do you think that goes down? How do you think that goes down at night when your husband hears about that? Like, dude, I heard what you said on the radio. Like, or Do they just kinda know this is what mom does, and maybe some of it's real, maybe some of it's fake, or it's just brutally honest? I mean, give me a break. We could all talk as moms, wives, friends, neighbors, sister-in-laws, sisters. We could all talk brutally honest about people in our lives, but we don't for the sake of having some couth and respect. You know what I mean? Like, nobody needs to tell the world all your stuff, and respect for that person. Jay Duffy says, I hope Kristen Taekman went home and told her daughter and family that she played up their issues for entertainment purposes. I mean, I don't know. Don't know. Yeah, I think my kids would be upset too, for sure. I mean, that's just a bit much, especially at 13. That's kind of an age. If she's 33 and says, oh, when she was 13, she was a pain in the butt, that's very different. They're older now. At 33, they'll probably agree, yes, I was a pain in the butt. Maybe at 33, they also have a kid or a toddler or young child. Michael Riley says, Kelly needs a job. They don't have enough money. Kelly's draining it left and right. Yeah, I definitely think, they talk about some things costing money that even to me doesn't sound like a lot of money. So I'm like, wait a minute. I thought you were rich, Kelly. Like, you want everyone to think you're so rich and so whatever. You know what I mean? It's interesting. Oh my God, I love it. Aw. Jay Duffy says, my mom and I did the Aldi cacaw across the store to each other. I think everyone else thought we were crazy. I don't think that's crazy at all. I think that's really cute. Okay, sorry. My mom liked going to the Aldi, so she would always have her quarter ready. So I just think, oh my God, I wish I'd have went more to Aldi with my mom. Anyways, okay. Let's keep chatting. Jeff is going to have a photo shoot on Friday, so he's trying to lose a bunch of weight. Lots to talk about the female photographer though, and he's just playing into it, but I really do think he's like questioning, like, who is this photographer? Like, what is she gonna? I don't know. It's just weird. Yes, we could talk about Wendy Williams. Carly says, how about Wendy Williams? She's still no. The latest I heard is she's somewhere safe and she has more freedom, but she is safe with some people. She is not in that home that she was in. She's still in the hospital for more testing. Free Wendy. I don't think she is in that hospital anymore. Yes, Christina, I get you. Oh, okay. Let's not talk about my mom. It makes me sad. Makes me sad to know that I loved her so much, though. Cecile says the Confession of Octomom was on last night. I want to watch whichever one is the more of the documentary. Like, I want to watch. I don't want a biopic or a reenactment or whatever all they can. You know what I mean? Oh, Jake, hold on, Jake. I'll push the button. So, Jake, you just hit the button. Hit that StreamYard there if you want to join, and you can tell us about the Zachnoi Towers thing. Or if you ever want to join live with a comment or question, you just copy and paste that StreamYard link that's in the banner going across where it says, welcome chumpettes, get comfy in comments and let's chat. So anyways, yes, it's always in this script. Thank you, Lincoln the Golden, for answering that. Appreciate it. Yeah, you're right. Michael Riley says, let's remember Wendy's son put her in that place and spent over $100,000 of her money. So he's not innocent. And she has said that, but at least he's, what is he, 22, 23? At least he's young. You know what I mean? I don't watch White Lotus. Everyone says I would like it. I've never seen it. I don't know. I guess I could try to watch it. I don't know. Okay, Zach brought up something very interesting and awkward before we get to the second hour. He said, why isn't Kian and Annie going to ChumpCon? He thought they would be essential. And he's like, well, I can't pay everyone. The thing is, Kian and Annie know all of Jeff's quirks and things. And, when you work with someone all the time like that, you kind of can see a look on their face. Like, Annie plus Annie, I think, and Kian, they're kind of part of the show. Like, maybe they shouldn't get paid $10,000. I mean, I don't know. If he has it, great. I mean, I think they're equal. Oh, Jake is on. Okay, I'll put you on. I'll bring you up in just a second. But I think they should come because they are part of the show. They're literally working with him 5 days a week. But as far as, like, off the radio and off the, events things, Annie could be that helper to, like, go get she could do her regular job that she does for Jeff. Whoever this name is that they're talking about is Michael, Michael Beck's assistant or partner in his event planning company. I'm like, she doesn't know Jeff like Annie and Kian do. So I don't know. Maybe they'll change their mind on that. I don't know. Okay, let's bring Jake from Kansas up. Hey, Jake, also known as what was it?
Uh, Jake, what was it?
Bitch something.
Yeah, bitch something.
So when was his show in Kansas?
It was about 2 months ago, and
Okay.
I met Taylor from Kansas. Everyone was super nice there.
Did
And
you meet other chumps that you knew beforehand? Y'all were going to see chumps, or just
they,
randomly you figured out y'all were all chump listeners?
we figured it out all in the audience before,
I love it.
and yeah, it was great. It was great. My sister did answer her phone in the front row, and I was super embarrassed, like super embarrassed.
Did it
But
shock you? Is she the kind of sister that would do that, or was she a little tipsy? What was the
oh, we were all lit. And she would totally do that. Dumb bitch, that's it.
dumb
It's
bitch?
Jake Dumb Bitch. That's my last name. So yeah, it was super fun. I met Taylor there and her boyfriend Todd, and I felt really bad because like I don't remember massaging his face, but I found out live on the radio and I was kind of mortified. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this poor straight guy," and I just massaged his face without consent. But I messaged her on Instagram and she was like, it was iconic. It was great. It was funny. It's just a moment. So I feel
Oh my god, I
better.
love that. So I remember that she called in and then he called in,
Hmm.
right, about the show, but I didn't remember anything about a massaging face, but
Yeah, she mentioned the massaging of the face the first call, and then but Jeff interrupted her because he just wanted to know if I was cute or not. And so I was like, oh, that's nice, but I wanted to hear the rest of the story. So I tried to
yeah.
find her on Instagram for like 4 weeks.
Oh, good, and then you found her?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, good, good. Well, yeah, you've been calling into the show for so many years. He wants to hear like, "Oh, he wants to put a visual of, like, what Jake from Kansas looks like."
Yeah, now I wanna, I'm not going, but now I wanna go to ChumpCon and bring my sister so she could answer her phone in the front row.
Oh god. At this point, they're kind of tired of the nonsense of some of the chumps, so they might have kicked her out of that one. You don't
Yeah,
wanna risk that.
probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Zach played it off so good. I was mortified, but hey, it's fun. She's my sister. I love her and I'm a hot mess too. We're related.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I thought his concert was really fun when he came to Houston also, and he was so nice when we met up with him afterwards.
Yeah, he's came to Kansas City twice because he's from St. Louis.
Yeah.
So that's not, it's like 4 hours away, but kind of close. So I've seen him twice in Kansas City and I've really liked both shows.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think he's really good. So the person that your sister answered the call of, did she really tell him, like, "You're a
Yeah, she
douchebag,"
did.
or whatever
She
what did she
did.
tell him? "You're
She was
rude"?
mad. She was mad because she was just like, I'm just calling to talk to my friend and you're on her phone. And she like gave him all this attitude. And I was like, oh gosh. Yeah, it was a thing. It was a
Is she
thing.
not a chump?
No. And neither
Oh.
is my sister, but she acts like one. So like I'm giving her some context about Zach and the show and all of that. And she's like, oh, it'll be great, because Zach's gay and I love gay people and blah, blah, blah. And so, but yeah, she had a good time, even though she's not a chump and neither was this girl. So they're like, what the hell's going on?
Oh my god. Well, I love it. Well, thanks for clearing it up. I thought your phone calls are always really good, so
Oh, well, thank
I
you, Sarah.
I
It
like
was
to
good.
listen.
It's good to catch your live every once in a while. And
Yeah.
you have a super sparkly day.
Aw, you too, Jake.
Okay, bye.
Bye. That's fun. He is so handsome, isn't it? I know, isn't it nice to put a face to the name? That is Jake from Kansas. Look at me, all getting all red. I don't know why. I get red all the time. I love that. Jay Duffy said she had a Tanya Harding moment. Exactly. Cray, cray. Okay, so let me know in comments if you think Kian and Annie should come. The reason I think they should come, for one thing, is also, like I said, they already know Jeff. They already know what he would need. They can probably anticipate things, or they know if a look on Jeff's face, something isn't going well, things like that. But they can also do their job. But also, people do want to meet Kian. People do want to meet Annie. Like, why not just add to the list of people that can be at these events and take pictures with the fans that are paying a lot of money. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Okay, second hour was Kelty Knight, Reza Farahàn. Kelty was Kelty. I mean, just, she's a little, the fans hate me, nah, whatever, but they are filming. So she is going to have, or I guess Lady Gang is really like 2 or 3, 4 women. Lady Gang is going to have Jeff on their podcast today, but it won't air for a few weeks. But she said she only needs him for like 20 minutes. So I don't know why they're only going to interview him for that short a time. Like, I don't feel like, I mean, that's not going to be much of an interview, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a good, okay. Lincoln the Golden, that is such a good idea. Wouldn't Annie be there creating content? You know what? The problem is with that, I don't think Jeff will want video going out. I've talked to him about this. He really likes to reward the people that spend time going to his show and spending the money. He knows he can make probably more selling it on whatever you call it, streaming it or whatever you call it live, but he doesn't want to do that. But so I don't think he would want the content up. Now, why? I don't know, especially if you put it up later, you know what I mean? If it was clips, I don't know. Thank you, Krista, for asking people to hit the like button. I don't know. Kelty Knight, I did go up and look up her video where she had fallen. So I did put it in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. I'd never seen it before. MJ and Reza update. Okay. Reza is holding fast, saying, yes, we had some serious issues. We did spend 45 minutes together in the conference room chatting it out. And then later she sent me a text message this weekend and said, hey, look at season this, episode this. Kim and Khloe are fighting on the Kardashians. And our situation is very similar to that. So I guess that's MJ's love language, is to talk in Bravo terms with Reza instead of just saying, look, I was wrong. But it did confirm what I've thought. Reza and MJ have only been on Jeff Lewis Live together maybe once or twice. They are always put with other people. And I kept wondering, obviously, I kept thinking they were going to finally announce the Shaws of Sunset reboot, which they're still not announcing. He almost made a mistake today and said something he shouldn't say, which absolutely reminds me that the show is going forward. He's just not able to say anything yet. But it's just her way. Like, she just doesn't know how to apologize. You know what I mean? So they are fine though. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Whatever. I love that caller that just wasn't going to let up though about it. And, basically Jeff said, yeah, I get it. But I did punish MJ. Like, she's not going to TrumpCon this year. I'm not going to back down from that. And she's invited next year, but she is not coming this year. I know, he's terrible promoting his stuff. Lincoln the Golden says Jeff needs marketing help. He stinks at promoting his own stuff. I've told the story years ago when I was listening to his show and I didn't know about the app, so I didn't know how to go back and re-listen. And I was trying to decide about going to the Burbank live event. And I was like, wait a minute. There's got to be like a jefflewis.com, an Instagram, something on his, nothing. There was no way to find out about tickets. I was like, why do you not let people know about this stuff? You know what I mean? Yeah. Southern Bell Cell says MJ is conniving and manipulative. I see her true awful self. I say that in the fact that she's a really good reality TV star because she is willing to put the drama out there. I think it's going to bite her in the ass in 15, 20 years when she has a son that's like, Mom, embarrassed. But at this point, she's really good at putting anything and everything out there on the TV or the radio. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Michelle. Shout out at work. Anyway, so it ended with that. Tomorrow's Joey McIntyre and Carney Wilson on, which should be very interesting. Don't know that Jeff's going to, research him or anything like that. Didn't sound like he was going to. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Kelly Dodd. She's a mean girl and not. Oh, MJ or Kelly Dodd. Anyways. Okay. Well, we are going to wrap it up soon. Allegedly, maybe. Welcome. Yes, you'll hit the replay. This does go, there's a replay on YouTube, and then all the comments are there as we chatted live. So hit the live chat button. If you don't see it, there's 2 or 3 little dots that look like a comment, and hit that, and one will say live chat, and then it will show up there. Instagram, thank you so much for joining me there. YouTube, TikTok, thanks for joining me there. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Same place, same time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Bye, Chumpettes. Bye, Instagram. Thank you for joining.